dance industry has grown over the last decade, and with it so have pirate radio stations. There are now 177 in the country, the vast majority of which are from London.
First of all, it started off as a laugh, where you just go up on the air and just, people just ringing up asking for like shouts and all that. And then they realised how much important it started becoming, because people wanted to hear their stuff all the time. And at the time, the rave scene was massive. It was a beginning scene. You had, that it was the first stage of people dancing all through the night and just going out. So then they could promote that through the radio stations, where they would go on from Friday night, 7 o'clock, and then the rig would shut off at Sunday night, 12 o'clock.
The pirate radio thing in London has always been big, and it's always been a part of the music industry scene. It's always been a part of the scene, going back to, I'd say, JFM, Solar, Horizon, Invicta, LWR, to name a few. But it's always been a part of the underground music scene, all since the beginning of this explosion of music,
This enthusiasm in the growth of the pirate radio scene is not shared by all. The Radio Communication Agency, a division of the Department of Trade and Industry, have been set up specifically to deal with these illegal broadcasters. What are the specific problems caused by pirate broadcasters, and do they actually cause much interference to emergency services?
Pirate broadcasters steal frequencies from other radio users, they cause interference to services like the emergency services, and they interfere with people who want to listen to broadcasts which are made legally. And there are many instances of interference to safety of life services, which include air traffic control.
What methods of tracking and enforcement do you use, and how effective are they?
Well, the main transmitters are very easy to find because, as I said, they're on top of tower blocks and they're very easy to find indeed. The studios are more difficult, but we do have means of tracing them. Sometimes technical means, we can trace microwave or VHF links.
What penalties can you face for pirate broadcasting?
The maximum fine at Crown Court, if we took it to Crown Court in front of a jury, is unlimited. There is no limit to the fine, or it might be up to 2 years imprisonment. The other thing that happens is that if we go to court, we will always ask for forfeiture of the equipment and anything else which is in the studio at the time that we seize it. And we invariably get that. And while the level of fines may not be particularly high, it's losing the record collection and losing the studio equipment which really hurts the pirates.
Taste FM is one of South London's leading garage stations, founded by Smokey and Uncle. Like all pirate broadcasters, they face a constant game of cat and mouse, trying to avoid detection from the authorities.
DJ Vex in the house. 1, 2, what are you gonna say? You know, my DJ Bubble is yo. 3, come and follow me. It's upon the mic, how we can this MC and now 4. Roto the core. That's how my DJ Bubble draw. 5, now get it put a bubble inside. Take the fem with the vibe.
Why and how did you start Taste FM?
Well, the reason why we actually started it was to reach out to more of the public, so we create a wider audience of people in the rave scene. Well, basically, you've got to have your team behind you. If you haven't got a team, you haven't got, because you've got to do everything. I mean, one man can't do everything. You need your team. You need your guys. I started the station. I had a little team. I've still got a little team, and it is those same guys from 2 years up till now. Music, it's all about music anyway, you know what I mean? It's all about the love for music and trying to provide what the people want. You avoid detection basically by not using silly equipment. It all starts with what you're using, microwave, band,
Microwave is untraceable.
Yeah.
And you can use bands.
So really the only way that they get like the studio rates and things like that is loud music being played.
You get patches, didn't you?
Yeah.
You get patches where you could be hit twice in a week.
Like,
and then you get months where you're not hit.
If they know that you've got a rave coming up, they're most likely to leave you alone for a little while.
I mean, you don't get away with it. You get into trouble.
Yeah.
You put your transmitter up, you expect to be on this weekend or in the week.
And then
And then you don't know what their intentions are. Their intentions that this week you are coming down. So the two intentions don't work. So that's your problem.
On this station, all that I've just been on the roof, getting caught putting a transmitter up on the roof by the council and the police.
The plan for the future is to lock down a club. And then Taste just rotates.
Every week.
Every week. Rotate and give people what they want now because they're tuned into the flavour.
Yeah.
And once they're tuned into my flavour, it's all about taste. You know what I'm saying?
It seems clear that the existing deterrents are having little effect on this growth industry. This is a matter which not only concerns the Radio Communication Agency, but the Radio Authority, who control access to legal broadcasting. Both authorities, however, seem very reluctant for change. The radio authorities say they aim to appoint licences with a view to broadening listener choice and to provide a diversity of national services, each catering for a wide range of tastes and interests. How is it then that there aren't any 24-hour jungle or garage stations?
Well, obviously we can only look at the applications that are submitted to us. And quite often we don't actually get people offering those type of service because it is the commercial radio industry and they have to be commercially viable, obviously, to exist. But with national radio, we have 3 frequencies and the government, 2 of which the government states what services they have to be, and so we don't actually have full control over that.
RCA figures show that there were 177 recorded pirates in '98. This figure has increased every year this decade. Does this not show a failure of the RA to address audience needs and cater for all sectors of the market?
Well, the problem here just lies in the fact that we have frequency scarcity, and there's not enough frequencies to go round. There's more people that want to broadcast than there are frequencies, so obviously we're getting people that are falling outside of the system to try and get cheap radio, and it's not fair to the people in the system.
No one wants to face prosecution, 2 years in jail and unlimited fines. Does it not seem obvious that the reason people are taking this risk is to supply a demand that is not being met legitimately?
That may be so. It's a matter for the radio authority to decide how they will allow the broadcasting spectrum to be used, and what you will find is that they are making more and more franchises available for smaller local area stations. That's part of their policy.
The radar figures that actually judge on a quarterly basis the listening habits of people show that only 1% of the population actually listen to pirate or other services.
Is it your aim to encourage pirate stations to turn legal, such as KISS, or to prosecute them?
We would certainly encourage people to be legal if they can. There's certainly, as I said, no advantage for them in our eyes in flouting the law. What they have to be careful of, though, is that the law acts very much against them, because if they get prosecuted for a pirate radio offence, then they can't work on a legitimate station for 5 years.
Do you not think the current lengthy licensing procedure, the high cost of illegal broadcasting, and the fact that anyone convicted of illegal broadcasting is banned for 5 years do little to encourage pirates to become legal?
The licensing procedure for legal procedure is not lengthy and it's not that expensive by all accounts. You can have services paying something like £2 per annum to run a radio station in a small populated area, and that figure can jump to 70,000 in London. It really does depend on the number of people living in the area, and also they're short-term licences that last up to 28 days, and the cost for running one of those is between £5,000 and £10,000.
Are the pirate broadcasters making a mockery of the legal system, or are the authorities flouting their own codes of practice, limiting access and opportunity to legal radio? Kool FM is one of the longest running pirate stations, recently celebrating its 10th anniversary. It's been home to some of the biggest names currently on the drum and bass scene, including Nicky Blackmarket, who has been DJing since the acid house explosion. He has DJed on numerous pirate stations and co-owns the legendary Blackmarket Records. This shop is at the centre of the dance music industry and has seen it grow from illegal raves to international success. Do you think current legal stations cater adequately for drum and bass music?
No, of course they don't. No, of course they don't. Which is a good thing as well, because then it keeps it underground again.
Do you think the radio authority provide adequate opportunity for people such as yourself to start legal stations?
Not at all, not at all. But then again, you know, it's got its good points and bad points. So
How's commercialism affected pirate radio?
commercialism. To a certain degree, there's good points and bad points. Because when you get the commercialism, the underground scene really does go back underground, which is a good thing, you know. But certain things, of course, it kills it off. Once it begins, commercialism begins, like any music, any type of form of music, once it gets commercial, it's going to die off a lot quicker. I mean, drum and bass is a British musical movement, and you had in the 70s you had punk, in the early 80s you had the two-tone thing, and once they became commercial, it killed it off, you know. But I see, especially with drum and bass, it's going back underground again, which is going to survive.
Being on Kool FM is like being on a pirate radio station. You got a certain amount of freedom to perform as artists.
Would you become legal if you could?
I prefer to keep it as it is. I don't know, but I prefer to keep it as it is.
I prefer it as well.
Yeah. Why is that?
No, it's just I find it a buzzing at them.
I think there is
It's more of like a risk in it.
Yeah. Also, like when I know before I was on any pirate station, when I used to listen to I want to go to the pirate station, man. Do you know what I mean, when I was younger and that?
Yeah.
I think, there was a certain element, you know, because you want to impress certain people.
We know at the end of the day, a lot of people regard it as something not so much taboo, but something that you're not supposed to do, or you're doing against others' wishes. Other people want to be into that because you're naturally rebellious. But we don't mean it in a bad way. We only do it like that because there's no other way to do it. The vibes do really come from the fact that you're behind somewhere. No one can't see you really. You're kind of like secluded and everyone else is involved. So the pirate scene on itself is a good thing.
No. I tell you what, the only reason I like it to become illegal because then I get paid for DJing on it. But no, apart from that, no.
Commercialism and legality are highly contentious issues within the pirate radio scene. Money is not all the stations strive for. The majority of DJs and MCs don't get paid for their services on the station. What is it that motivates them to give up their spare time and effort and ultimately risk prosecution?
It's not so much about the music for me. I think it's just the scene, it's our vibe. It's jungle drum and bass is the way that we live. We're entertainers, so therefore we need to take the rave scene a little bit better. Other things are happening for us, not just the actual radio, but the radio is sort of like archery, the main archery, the heart of our industry.
Hobby as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it, exactly. I mean, no one would do it if they didn't enjoy it. We all enjoy it. You know what I mean? We all do enjoy it. People might moan now and again, but we still enjoy it. That's why we do it, you know what I mean?
For the people, the love of the music, for the people, and seeing people just go mad dancing to the music. It's just a personal buzz, you know. That goes for everybody, I think.
That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do as a career, do you know what I mean? Not just DJ. I want to be on the radio, I want to play out, I want to do my own promotions, do you know what I mean? I've got a track coming out, electric, do you know what I mean? I love the whole shebang.
And to say that we're doing it for the money is wrong, because a lot of us don't do it for the money. A lot of people, or there was a lot of hype about extravagant wages and this, that and the other, and I mean, we won't go into the Millennium Bug thing, but it's more of a being able to do it, like being able to get up and MC or DJ is more of a thrill and payment for me than actually receiving any cash benefit, because at the end of the day, cash can only be spent. Vibes that you make and create, you can take them with you forever.
Exactly, will always be with you.
Why is it important to have pirate radio?
Oh, I mean, it's part of the whole thing, really. I mean, you've got the radio, you've got the club, you've got the DJ, you've got the shop like here. You know, it's the whole part of the circle. And you take that bit out, there's obviously a bit missing, you know. There's be a chunk missing, so obviously it's a very important role for promoting the music, keeping the music alive.
Because to keep the underground scene alive in London, there's like, not everyone can afford to go out every weekend. To keep the music going, to keep it alive, innit? Because if there wasn't not only that, so then people know where to go to listen to the music.
You know when we go to rave, you know, like say, if I drop a track, and like, and for example, the Wiki tune. You won't know, but like the Wiki tune, yeah. You know, if you drop that, everyone's going to go mad. And the only way they go mad because they've heard it on radio.
It may be that they feel their own particular brand of music isn't being met. They may feel that there is some ethnic, local need which isn't being met. Sometimes we know that the pirates use their disc jockeys so that they can get better known in the clubs, so the clubs have some backing. And sometimes also there are some links to more organised crime, like drugs, for example.
Well, quite often people want to be outside of the system. They want to buck the system, and they get away with, obviously, pirate radios get away with without paying any fees, and that's perhaps why they exist, but it's not really for us to say.
Where do you see the future of pirate radio going, and how will new technologies such as digital radio affect that?
The thing is, of course, that with digital technology, that the operation of the multiplex, as it's called, the number of digital stations that you get on a single channel, will be controlled very much by the people who actually own that multiplex franchise. So the chance for pirate broadcasters, illegal broadcasters, to get on there is zero, effectively. They simply will not get onto the digital multiplex.
Some people have done it where, alright, you've got a digital display and your station that you tuned in comes in, like the big ones, Capital, I think Freak FM done it, and a couple other ones done it. But what I was told and what I could see on my indication, that because it was new technology and it wasn't actually sussed out, then there was problems happening where it was interfering with other stations around it, and it was coming out on other frequencies.
I don't know whether culturally it's a good thing or not. I mean, from our point of view as managers of the spectrum, all we're concerned about is that people use it within the rules and they use it legally. If there is some cultural need that's not being addressed, then they must try and find the legal outlet.
The digital advancement poses a considerable threat to the existence of pirate radio. There is a constant battle of technology, with progress on either side being counteracted by the other. The pirate broadcasters seem adamant they will be able to find a way around the digital advantage held by the RCA and RA, but the future is uncertain. What do you think the extinction of pirate radio would mean?
There'd be an outcry, and as far as I'm concerned, you can't just take away something that other people have got up and done near enough of their own back for near enough 10 years, ain't asked you for a penny, and they've done it, and then you decide to heavy-handedly sort of like wipe them out. I wouldn't say there's going to be a revolution or anything, but there would be an outcry, because I mean, being quite frankly, I don't think you could possibly now at this stage sort of like wipe it out. No way, you can't make our scene extinct, like the music, the pirate radio scene. Someone would be daring enough to try and put it back on, but at the same time, it's like there's no way that they can take away the good work that we've done, like bringing people together, making it, I mean, this is a British music format that was never ever seen before. Nothing like this was ever encountered before. Like, there was all talk about R&B and hip hop and reggae, ragga music, but this is our UK drum and bass jungle music which we made. So therefore, as British citizens, we should hold on to it for dear life.
Look after it, man, exactly.
Shocking. I might the one that know them stooking. God never blow me when I'm a walking. Hit them big up, so I'm traffic blocking. When I'm on the mic, I'm gonna flopping. Take them around, so on the walking. When I get full, fast, when I be stopping. Fake kids is no talent, that's what I hate. This is the work, we're gonna try imitate. Try to do something I can't elevate. You know me, I'll just elevate. I'm just a girl, I'm standing here on alone. I got my green out, not the on my own. I'm just a girl, so I'm looking for champion. I'm not doing it, just so I'm learning on.
Are you ready? Alright, Mr. South London, are you ready? TST, Taste of that family. This is how we do. This is how we do. For that wavy crew. This is how we do. Check us out. 925 and the frequency. Let me introduce you to my family. Harvey, Double G. Mr. Lines, Melody, let the DJ the trailer D. Back to back with the TST on the next. This Jada Flex, butterfly at side to side. Make you smart D. Bring that alpha E with the chemistry on the MIT. Magical
Ready for the rock around. Brooklyn, let's show them how we throw it down. Alright, cry. It's all about the elements of sound. Are you ready now, massive? We're gonna turn up, we're gonna back you out with a body on contact. What we're gonna do with the bass, I got pressure. Hey, burn it up. We're gonna turn up, we're gonna back you out with a body on contact. What we're gonna do with the bass, I got. What we're gonna do with the bass, I got. Boom to the beat, down through now way. And I'm the head for the new one, taking it back. Track, boom with the bass. Some spin out, don't find us, taking the move to the beat, down through now way. And I'm the head for the new one, head. Track, track, boom with the 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 bass. Listen, DJ Rocky in the goddamn place. How much more can you really take? Say hello, say up high, minimum moving time. I can spy a raving eye. Say hello, say up high, minimum moving time. I can spy a hey, hey. Side by the music, baseline and acoustic, the move kick, minimum the neck boost it. Get down with them and then move it, try and move it. That's side on the ground and we choosing. Oh, J's, side by the music, baseline and acoustic, the move kick, minimum the neck boost it. Get down with them and then move.
And it's the people that make it what it is. I mean, the people on the radio station, we work hard to make sure that we're on there every weekend. The management works hard to make sure the radio's on every weekend. And it's just our way of...
Stop. It's too long.
Babbling on
It's long, blood.
Like, you ain't even talking it now. I'm sitting here, man. I can just talk all night, you get me? I've got a lot to say. But it has to be falling asleep for that. I won't put eyes at his eyes closed, you know.
Just so quick too.
Just give you a little pat on the back for your voice sounding croaky.
Yeah, man. So we're getting dressed up like this. Make sure cuss is gonna come out as well. Watch.
You my mate.
What was I saying? Seriously, fuck off now, man. Seriously, like. No, yeah. You got the Yeah, go. You stay there in the corner.
Read the question.
You stay there in the corner and think about what you've done, man.
What are you going to do? Do you want me to say the question? Did we start? Brain's not in order yet. Haven't woke up yet.
I'm prepared one of you lot for this because, you know.
I'll be in high school.
Yeah, man, chill out, what's wrong? Yeah, what, you're going? Oh, then.
Oh, if you're going to be fine.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Sorry, man, I gotta cut this shit out. Get out, man, I'm doing about 2 minutes. 2 minutes, batty hard.
Come back in the man. Interview soon come, man.
Cut that, man.
Cut that, man. Rewind.
What am I doing? I'm looking at the camera, looking for you.
So can we do a little freestyle rap because we're all in there down. My name's Shocking Dick Fleck.
Yeah.
I love it. You love it?
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you for your time, lads, and it's been most rewarding. You still filming? Yeah, we'll go through, man. What would you like to say, bro? Introduce yourself, man. Bring me in my eyes.
Boy, thanks, innit? Just thanks.
Sorry, the who? The radio authority. Even I thought you said something else then. Was that, eh? What?
No, the radio authority.